Hello, I'm Mark Price. I'd like to talk to you today about achieving peace of heart. There's a verse from a poem that I've told for many, many years. I remember teaching it to my daughter when she was very young. Worrying is like a rocking chair. Both occupy your time, but neither get you anywhere. The gospel today is from the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verses 27 through 31. Jesus said to his disciples, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. You heard me tell you I am going away, and I will come back to you. If you love me, you would rejoice that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I. And now I have told you this before it happens, so that when it happens, you may believe. I will no longer speak much with you, for the ruler of the world is coming. He has no power over me, but the world must know that I love the Father, and that I do just as the Father has commanded me." The Gospel of the Lord. So we hear in this Gospel that Jesus is leaving, and he is saying, but I leave you peace. My peace, the peace from Jesus, the peace from God, I give to you. And it's important to understand that there's a difference between the peace of God, the peace from God, or the peace that the world gives us. The peace that the world gives us tells us that we have things, that we will be at peace when we have things. That's what the world says. It's selfish and it's temporary. The peace that we have from God sustains us. The peace that we have from God says that we will have peace when we don't worry about things, when we keep our focus not on things, but when we keep our focus on God. This is a different kind of peace. My mother used to read a book called Achieving Peace of Heart. And the only way we will ever truly have peace deep within our hearts is when we have God deep within our hearts. That's the true peace that comes to us in this world. The world is always going to be throwing things at us and disturbing us. We've got right now the pandemic, and sadly, all sides have different opinions on how to deal with the pandemic. And what that does is make the pandemic worse. It raises our anxiety. It takes away our ability to have peace because it keeps scaring us. What's next? What's going to happen next? What's the death rate? What do I have to be careful of? What do I do to protect myself and my family? Worry, 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 worry. That's what the world does to us and within us, creates that kind of worry. But we have to be reminded and remember to remind ourselves the world does not have our best interest at heart. The world, to deal with the pandemic, takes away our church, takes away our being able to hug and be nurtured by family and friends. One of the great lessons of 9/11 was that at the very end, when people knew they were going to die in those towers, they did what? Two things. They reached out to God and they reached out to family. At a time when nothing else mattered, they realized the two things that truly does matter: God and each other. And yet, the world's way of telling us to deal with this pandemic is you can't go to God, you can't go to your friends, you can't go to those things which provide you comfort. And that's just wrong. What they're saying is, don't go to church, listen to the governors. Don't go to church, listen to Congress. Congress knows best. The governors know best. I want to say, as a person of faith, they do not know best. God knows best. If you want peace through this pandemic and peace through everything that hits you in this world, turn to God. Allow yourself to believe in the God who created you and accept the peace that Jesus is giving to us. A peace given to us from God, the creator of all things. We have peace if we but believe. Do you believe? Remember, a few reflections ago I said to believe there are 4 things to look at to determine whether or not we really believe. Do we change in our life? Are we open to change? Do we trust? Do we forgive? And do we love? Trust. Do you trust God? And do you trust that God will provide you the peace you need? Peace doesn't get rid of the problems, but peace helps to take off the rough spots. Peace gives us a sense that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Remember, God said to us that it is life and life more abundantly that I give to you. Let's turn to God and let's remember worrying is like a rocking chair. Both occupy your time, but neither gets you anywhere. This is Mark Price. Thanks for listening.